Hi everybody, I'm back and good morning to you all. We're talking about being a peacemaker because that's a concept that children of God should be living out and becoming to the people around them. Yesterday we spoke about what it meant to have peace with yourself. We spoke about what it meant to deal with a guilty conscience, and I hope if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to because it's vitally important. We're talking today about people who bring peace between people and God. Yesterday was me and myself, need to find peace there. But now you kind of are in a position to say, you know what, I have received peace with God. I need to show people where I found my peace. And when we become this intervention person or we lead to an intervention incident that causes people, beautiful people, to reconcile themselves with God first of all, that's what a peacemaker is. Kind of like what Jesus did. Jesus came, as we said before, to be the peacemaker because we were at war, or our sin was at war with God. God's always been on our side. We know that. But we were in our minds at war with ourselves, and Jesus came and gave us that peace to know that our sin has been dealt with. Talk about peace with one another will be tomorrow, but first of all, let's talk about peace with God, how we can be an intervention. We said yesterday, Moses is a great example. Let me take you today to Exodus chapter 33. And Moses, who was the leader of this rambunctious bunch of people who were disobedient in every area, people who messed up continually, people who failed over and over and over again in the same lessons that God had wanted for them to learn, but they were such slow learners. But it culminated at Mount Sinai, when Moses went up to meet with God and God gave him the beautiful 10 Commandments. Moses came down and he found the children of Israel to be worshipping a golden idol, a golden calf. And there they were, just weeks before, worshipping God for the great victories God had given. Now they had turned their God, Jehovah, into a golden image. That didn't please God. It certainly didn't please Moses. And so Moses broke the 10 Commandments, had the people, in a sense, punished. And then he went up to God, back up Mount Sinai, and he said, God, what am I going to do with these disobedient, stiff-necked people? And God said, Moses, I share your anger. Here's the plan, Moses. Why don't we just wipe them all out? Moses, let's just wipe them all out. And of you, Moses, I'm going to make a great nation. Out of all the millions that have come out of here, Moses, you're the only one that I feel that I can invest myself in. Moses, don't worry about them. It'll just be you and me. That must have been a really appealing thought for Moses to say, wow, God, that sounds like a great idea. I should wipe them out. I don't have any more of these problem people and these children who disobey continually. Lord, that sounds like a good idea. And then Moses, because he probably had a pastoral heart, he says, Lord, I'm a shepherd. I don't want to lose all my sheep. God, you can't do that. And God says, what do you mean I can't do that? I am God. After all, I can do whatever I like. And Moses said, well, I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you're going to wipe all these people out because you, God, have made a promise to them. And I know that you have never reneged on any promise you have ever made. God, I was there. I told these people you promised that you would take them out of Egypt and that you personally would lead them to the promised land. If you wipe them all out, you're not going to be able to do that. And so Moses negotiated with God on behalf of the sinful children of Israel. That's what peacemakers do. They negotiate with God on behalf of sinful mankind. And then they go to mankind and they say, I've negotiated with God. And God says he still loves you. God still has a plan for you. And God says, even though I have had to negotiate the issue of angels going before and me saying, God, we're not going to go with an angel. I don't want you to watch us from a distance. I don't want you to send an angel. God, we're not going any further until we have an assurance that you're going to lead us. Read the story, Exodus 33. And Moses broke his heart before God and said, Lord, I know you love these people. I know they've messed up, but I know you love them. And I know you still want them to get to the promised land. And Lord, I'm kind of, going to hold you to that because I know you will. And God reneged. He said, Moses, you are right. I will take them to the promised land. Thank you for standing between. Now, at church a while back, we were looking at what it meant to be a go-between between God and man. And here's simply what it is. Those of you who come to our church will remember this. Our role as peacemakers is to take the hand of a righteous and a holy God, take the hand of a sinful and broken people, and join them together, and then get out of the way. You don't want to stand between the people and God, because that's going to exhaust you and you'll never be able to pull it off. You will disappoint people and embarrass God at the same time. Hand of the hurting, hand of God, join them together, get out the way. Hand of the hurting, hand of God, and get out of the way. Don't get too angry with the people that messed up. You were one of them, or you might still be one. I don't know. I guess I am time to time. But when we have somebody intervene on our behalf, comes by way of praying for others, comes by way of encouraging others to say, God's never given up on you. Don't you dare give up on him. Let's start to intervene more intentionally on behalf of other people so they too can get connected with God again. And then people, do yourself a favor, get out the way. Let God be God. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.